episode 15 of the Talkin Shit podcast with your host, Ava Lisette. Hello, I am Ava Lisette. So, we did not have an episode last week. Okay, I apologize. I was recovering from what we are going to be talking about today, which is the Pierce the Veil and Sleeping with Sirens concert. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, so it's a lot. There's a lot to cover. Okay, so let's go ahead and get all of this out of the way first, and then we will hop right in. I think I want to talk about other concerts that I've been to. So we're gonna get into all of that. Okay, fragrance of the day is the one that I made at Ren Fair. It's my beautiful Amber, Vanilla, and Violet. I love her so much. The violet is very powdery, and I've been getting a lot of compliments on this lately. Sorry, I feel like I'm talking a mile a minute right now. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna slow it the fuck down. Give me 1 second. Okay. Calm down. Why are you rushing? Christ on a cracker. Okay. So this has been getting me a lot of compliments recently. So if you ever have the opportunity to make your own fragrance, I would highly recommend it. And violet, it's a really good scent. Let's do our oracle pull of the day. And oh my god, I feel like I'm so antsy to talk about this concert because it was so good. It was so healing. It was literally, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, there was so many things that happened. It was a little crazy to start, but it ended up perfect. I cried so many times, and we'll get into all of that. Also, I'm barefaced today. I didn't even curl my lashes. So that just goes to show how comfortable I'm getting on here, okay? I mean, I know that we've definitely seen me looking rough on here before, but no lashes curled or anything today. Greasy hair. I've been wearing this bandana for about 3 days, which is kind of gross, but I don't wash my hair every day because it's already damaged enough as it is, and I'm running low on my shampoo and conditioner, so I kind of have to space them out a little bit more than I usually do. But I am still showering every day because, I'm not gross. Okay, anyway, let's get into this. So we got Ruby. Okay. This one has a little spider on it, which I love. And I actually recently found out that spiders, especially black spiders, in spirituality are like grandmother energy. And it's funny because I went to a women's circle last night here at Holistic Vibes, and not this time, but the last 2 times that I went to a women's circle, a black spider crawled right in front of me. And the second time I went and took it outside by myself. The first time I was a little freaked out, but the second time I was able to do it on my own. And I feel like this has a very like motherly energy, which I kind of love. And it says, you only more so. So let me go ahead and look this up in the little directory. That's what I'm going to call it today. It's a directory. Let's see. Ruby. First word, I'm already fucking it up. Okay, you only more so. Ruby is like love. She can fill you up or drain you dry. And like love, Ruby serves as an amplifier, Ava fucking Lisette Lacone. Oh my god. English is your first and only language. Let's do it again. Ruby serves as an amplifier, magnifying both your positive and negative traits. Oh, okay. She can lead you to courage and self-confidence if those seeds are already nurtured within you. If self-doubt and loathing have taken root, she'll boost those traits in equal measure. Okay. Listen. I'm simultaneously both going through the best time and the worst time of my life right now, which is very insane, and I feel like this is kind of like pointing that out a little bit, like leading me to courage, self-confidence. I have a lot of courage, I have a lot of self-confidence, but also like the self-doubt. I wouldn't say self-loathing. I don't hate myself anymore, but the self-doubt has been fucking insane recently. So that is kind of that's a little on the nose. Ruby will bolster your energy if you're feeling robust or run you down if your batteries are feeling depleted. She doesn't discriminate or judge, she simply heightens what's already there. As Dorothy found out after she donned the ruby red slippers, there's a bit of a learning curve. Slide that ruby ring onto your finger and you will become more you. The question is, are you ready? So it's amplifying both. I really feel like both things are very highlighted in my life right now, the good and the bad, the yin and the yang, if you will. And you can actually kind of see, like, there's light and darkness in this too. That's really interesting. And then I also feel like the spider is supposed to signify some sort of darkness, but I don't know, that grandmother energy I feel like is coming through, that spiritual protection, right? For my abuelita for sure. But yeah, no, this literally, I don't even know. Like, I mean, you guys know, like, we've talked about what's, happening with my dad and everything. And we've talked about, the really good things that are happening in my life too, like with my content creation and everything. But, it's a fucking struggle in my head right now. I feel like I'm all over the place at any given moment. I feel like I can't really think straight because my mind is constantly going, like, thinking about, like, gratitude, and then thinking, like, oh my god, my whole life is, like, a fucking mess, and this and this and that. But then when I actually sit down and I think about it logically, like, my whole life isn't a mess. It's like, it's just this one part of my life that's a little messy. But I've always known that mess was there. I just never really bothered to clean it up. And now I'm kind of being forced to do that. So, I don't know. I feel like right now I'm kind of healing some childhood wounds that I never worked on. And I'm also just thriving in social media. Like, oh my God. Last night, before I went to bed, I told Tyler, I was like, I'm going to wake up to 6,000 followers tomorrow. And this morning I woke up to over 6,000 followers. I think it was at 6.1K on Instagram, right? And then I think on TikTok I'm at 71,000. And I told myself I'm going to hit 100K before the summer ends. By the end of August, I think I'm going to hit 100K, which is fucking crazy. Like, when I actually, like, sit down and think about it, it's like, the reason I started this podcast in the first place was because literally the last day of February, I hit 10K followers, right? And that was what I told myself, was when I hit 10K followers, if I hit 10K by this day, then I'm gonna start a podcast. And where am I? Look at us now, bitch. Episode 15. 15 episodes in. That's not even that much. And yes, I've missed a couple weeks. Okay, I apologize. But that's 10K on the last day of February. And by the end of August, I'm going to hit 100K. That is fucking wild and insane to think about. That's fucking crazy. That's literally fucking crazy. This is all happening so fast. And I feel like there's a lot of lessons that I've been learning along the way. Like, I don't have anybody to hold my hand to, like, show me the ropes and tell me what I should and shouldn't be doing. And I've definitely, like, made a lot of mistakes so far. I've definitely said things that I wish that I hadn't said, that I feel like were problematic. And I don't want to be a problematic person. And I feel like that was kind of when I realized, like, okay, I have a platform. It's not, I'm still building a platform, but it's not a platform that I'm building. I have one, and I need to use it for good, right? And so I've been, like, really double checking myself, filtering myself a little bit more, because I know that I can be quite harsh sometimes. And a lot of the times too, I feel like my jokes don't land with people who don't know me and don't know my delivery, don't know my sarcasm. And I think that sometimes it comes off the wrong way when that wasn't at all my intention. And I also, like, I need to remember that not everybody is going to know how to read that. That's not everybody's sense of humor, right? It's going to miss the mark. And I feel like I've been learning that lesson a lot recently, or like the past couple months. And now I'm, like, going forward from here on out, like, I want to be a lot more careful, and I want to talk about different things. And I feel like I've been doing that a little bit better. I don't care about pissing off conservatives. That's been getting me paid. So I don't give a fuck about pissing off a conservative. But yeah, I feel like just some of the stuff that I said, like, when I was first starting out, was just, like, problematic, and I've apologized for it. And I think that's really the best that you can do in those situations, is just to admit your wrongdoing, apologize for it, and move on, and don't make the same mistake twice, right? So So, it's a learning curve, and I'm really, really grateful to have this platform. I'm so grateful that I'm here right now doing this, and I'm grateful that I'm learning from my mistakes. And I wish that sometimes I look back and I fucking cringe at those mistakes, but at the same time I'm also like, sometimes mistakes have to happen. Mistakes are going to happen when you're trying something new for the first time, right? But I feel like that's also part of the good and the bad. I feel like that's where a lot of the self-doubt has been coming in. I've been getting like a little bit of like imposter syndrome, and how, I don't know, like I just feel like I kind of want to change my name. Like I've been thinking about changing my name on social media, but when I try to like make a username with that name, like it's already taken, and I'm like, shit. Like I don't want to have different usernames across every platform, but I didn't want to lose my Ava Lisette, so I changed my username on Instagram to Ava Lisette _ to match on TikTok, and then I made a separate account just called Ava Lisette without the underscore, which was my original tag. And now I have that as a private account for just my friends and family, because I didn't want to lose that. Like that's my name, and I didn't want to lose that. But I wanted things to match up on social media. So I don't know. I'm still trying to figure all of that out, and I'm still like, do I want to continue using my name, but I already have my name out there, and I already have this many followers that know me under that name, and if I switch names now, like, is that going to cause problems? Is that going to, I don't know. And I feel like that's like where the self-doubt comes in a lot, is I just don't know. And there's nobody to give me an answer. There's nobody that can tell me, yes, you should do this. No, you shouldn't do this, because it's a game of chance. You never know. You literally never know. If I change my name, I could lose everything, right? Or I could gain even more of a following with a different name. You quite literally never fucking know. So I'm still on the fence about that. I haven't made any like final decisions about it. I think the only place that I actually changed my name was on Roblox, because I am thinking about doing live streams. And I've been watching a lot of Vanilla Mace recently. She's been like such a huge inspiration for me, and watching her streams have just been like cracking me up. And I was like, I feel like I could do something like this. I used to live stream a little while back, and I had fun doing it, and I want to play like Dress to Impress, but I'm not a gamer, so I feel like it would also be really funny for people to tell me like, hey, try out this game, but then I have no idea what I'm doing because I've never fucking gamed before, so I'm obviously going to be bad at everything. But Dress to Impress, I'm going to eat that shit up every single time. So I'm thinking about doing that, but, I'm kind of late to the trend because everybody's kind of doing Dress to Impress. It's been done since last year, but who cares? Who knows? I could be the Dress to Impress girl for the rest of my life. I'm okay with that. That's a fun-ass game. But yeah, anyway, that's my whole spiel on that. Let's get into the concert. Okay, we're talking about concerts in general. We're going to talk about concerts that I've been to, and the concert that I just went to. Okay, let me go ahead and cleanse my palate real quick. Okay, so July 1st, 2025, I got to see Pierce the Veil and Sleeping with Sirens. Oh my god. So I've been wanting to see them since I was a teenager, as most of us, kind of had our little emo phase in high school, in middle school. It was never a phase for me, at least music-wise. I feel like my aesthetic does not give emo whatsoever. I don't know what my aesthetic even is, to be honest. I don't think I fit under any specific aesthetic. But what's it called? I've been wanting to see them since I was a teenager, and I'd been talking about wanting to go to this concert for months. Like, ever since they announced the tour, I was like, man, I really want to go. But then at the time, like, I just could not afford the tickets. And that was back when the tickets were like $98. I ended up spending like $170, $180 each for the tickets or something like that. They were a little more expensive for the resale. But I was able to go. And it was because of social media. It was because of TikTok that I was like, yeah, I made the money to be able to do this, which is fucking crazy. Like, it's literally insane that I'm making that amount of money online just fucking spewing my opinion about whatever. So that's really cool, and I'm so fucking grateful for that. So I got to see them, and when we got there, mind you, I spent a little extra money for these tickets, okay? And I'm going to add photos of what we thought our seats were going to be, right? Because when we bought these tickets, it was at the Kia Forum. And I've been to the Kia Forum before, and I kind of know the layout of what the Kia Forum looks like. And the tickets that we got on Ticketmaster, which I've heard people kind of have like issues with Ticketmaster. I don't go to concerts enough to like know the whole thing about Ticketmaster, but on Ticketmaster it showed us what the side view was going to be, because the seats that we got were in section 121, I think it was. And that's like literally the stage is here, and then it's right here, like right on the side of the stage. So if the stage is pointing outward this way, we were right next to it, so we were going to get a side view. I don't know if I'm explaining that right. I'm putting a picture up. I don't know why I'm over explaining that. I apologize. But that's what we thought we were going to see. Then when we sat down, this is what we saw. Girl, I did not know that there was going to be equipment in the way, okay? This curtain ended up moving after Sleeping with Sirens was finished with their set, and then Pierce the Veil was going on. But even still, the lighting, all of the other equipment, we couldn't even see the screens. We couldn't see shit. So I don't even know why they like were selling those tickets, honestly. And I was so bummed out when we got there. I was on the verge of tears, because I was like, oh my God, I've been waiting 10 plus years to see this band, to see both of these bands. And now I'm not even going to be able to see what's going on, right? And when it comes to a concert, I love the experience of just being there and listening to the live music, but I want to see what's going on. I want to see what they have on the screens. I want to see what's happening, right? And so I just remembered another concert that I went to that I didn't add in here. But I was really bummed out, because I was like, oh my God, like I've been waiting so long to see these people, and I'm not going to be able to watch it. And, I was just really upset about that. So then Tyler, God bless his soul, round of applause for Tyler, because he always comes through. Tyler will, I'm not kidding, do anything to make me happy. When I tell you this man was scrambling, running around at every single, like, security guard, anybody who worked at the Kia Forum, if he saw them with a jacket on that said, staff or whatever, he was running up to them. He was asking questions. He was saying, is it okay if we move sections? Are we able to, like, do this, do this, do that? And so many people, first of all, everybody was telling us different shit, right? I feel like nobody at the Kia Forum actually knows what they're doing. Like, nobody's on the same page. So they were all telling us different things. And some people were saying, like, oh, like, no, you have to stay in your seat. Like, you can't move your seat. And then another person said, oh, well, you can go into the seats in this section, but you have to, if somebody comes to claim the seats, then you have to move. And then I was like, well, I don't want to have to keep on getting up and moving. Like, I want to just be able to be in one spot and enjoy the show. And so then finally, this one woman, she sees us trying to, like, get someone else's attention, and she works there. And she looks like she's in, like, some sort of managerial position. And she comes up, and she's so sweet. And she's asking us, like, hey, do you guys need help? What's going on? And we tell her our situation, and she looks at our seats. We show her the picture of our view from the seats. And she was like, okay, come with me. She takes us over to guest services. And at guest services, they were like, okay, so here's what I have for you. Mind you, the man who was running the guest services spot looked like a mafia boss. I don't know what it was. Just his whole demeanor was like, this is all I got for you. This is it. You're going to have to take it or leave it. I don't know. His vibe just very much gave that. But he was like, it's technically a downgrade because it's section 209. And I was like, anything at this point is an upgrade. As long as I can see the show, I don't care. As long as it is in front of me, I don't care. I literally don't give a fuck where this is. So we go to section 209, which turns out to be where my friends Jam and Eva are. And we were going to take them home after the show because they got a ride there. And so that made it so easy to find them after the show. But finally, we get our new tickets, and then the woman walks us over to our new section. And as we're walking over, Sleeping with Sirens has already started, right? And A Trophy Father's Trophy Son starts playing. And as we're walking, I'm singing my heart out, right? We're walking through the crowd and I don't give a fuck. You have no idea what that fucking song has meant to me, especially these past couple months. I literally was like, oh my God, I've been needing to hear this song so badly. And she walks us over, and we get to our seats like right at the bridge of the song. I cried. Like literally first song, I'm already fucking sobbing. And then after that, they finished off their set. They had a few more songs that they played. What else did they play? I thought they were going to do Roger Rabbit, but they didn't do Roger Rabbit. They did With Ears to See and Eyes to Hear. Is that what it's called? One thing that I love about emo songs is that their titles literally never fucking make sense. But they did the acoustic version of that song, and it was really good. But I thought they were gonna do Roger Rabbit, and I was kind of bummed out about that. But they still played a really really great songs. And If You Can't Hang played, and I was like, oh my god, I've been wanting to hear this for so long, because I have seen Sleeping with Sirens before, but we'll get into that in just a second, okay? Because that's its own fucking story. But when Pierce the Veil came on, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Every single song was fucking fantastic. Vic's voice sounds amazing. Like, both Kellen and Vic, I feel like their voices sounded so healthy. And I was seeing in comment sections people making fun of Kellen Quinn's voice. I feel like at our show, at least, he was singing perfectly fine. I thought his voice sounded amazing. But, Pierce the Veil goes on. The songs that I cried for, one was Circles, which honestly I wasn't really expecting to cry over Circles, but I cried over that because I feel like every single time I had listened to it, leading up to this concert, I was imagining seeing Circles in concert. I was like, oh my god, like this is the perfect song for a concert. And when they played it, immediately, tears in my Latina eyes, I was already fucking crying. I was like, oh my god, it was so good. It was so fucking good. And then after that, oh my god, they did Wonderless. And Wonderless is probably my favorite song in that album. What is that album called? It's slipping my mind. I sound like the biggest fake fan right now. That's probably the album that I've listened to the least, is their first one. A Flair for the Dramatic, that's what it is. And Wonderless started playing, and I was like, oh my god, this is so good. And I cried for that one. And then, of course, I cried so hard for Hold On Till May. Oh my god. And it was so sweet because Tyler, like, he obviously knows that I like Pierce the Veil. Like, I've liked Pierce the Veil since I was a teenager, and he knows that I like it more than he does, right? He doesn't know all of the songs. He doesn't have, like, a deeper connection to all of the songs like I do. But he was recording me the whole time that Hold On Till May was playing. And it was just, oh my god, it was such a beautiful experience. Like, hearing that song live was just, I'm literally getting emotional just thinking about, like, that's so stupid. Like, the way that music can make you emotional is fucking crazy. But I don't even know, like, that song, I feel like, especially the month of May, really got me through it. Like, I was listening to a lot of Pierce the Veil in May specifically, and I think it was because of just everything, well, and Sleeping with Sirens, because of everything that was going on with my family and just the stuff in my personal life. I was like, oh my god, like, this song is just fucking hitting. And it was hitting the way that it did when I was a teenager. You know what I mean? And when I was a little depressed teenager, and I was like, oh my god, this is exactly what I needed. And I made a video that said, turns out I didn't need therapy, I just needed to see Hold On Till May live. But, oh my god, it was fucking amazing. And then, to end it off, their encore song, of course, was King for a Day. They did King for a Day together. I got to see Vic Fuentes and Kellen Quinn do King for a Day together. Oh my god. 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 And then Tyler and I dressed up like in like the business attire that they do in the music video. And we got a lot of compliments. And I looked like a why can't I fucking English right now? Jeez, I'm so excited, like I can't even speak. But I did it like a slutty version of it. Like, I was wearing like a cute short skirt, you know, fishnets, had like a cute lacy bra, and like the tie was kind of covering my cleavage. The fits came out really well. And my favorite part of the entire thing, I straightened my hair and I did the deepest side part that I fucking could. Okay, my hair was fried. My bathroom smelled like 2009. It was crazy. And I also dyed my hair. I don't know if you noticed, but my hair is a little bit darker. I dyed my hair black. But I did like a temporary dye, so the dye job honestly isn't that great. But you know what? What gives Scene Kid more than a bad dye job? Am I right? So I come home and I, my makeup's a little messed up from me crying, and my hair was still looking really good. Like, I teased it a little bit, and I had my outfit on, and I made a TikTok saying, like, I just saw Pierce the Veil and Sleeping with Sirens, and I looked like this. 13-year-old me is like freaking the fuck out right now. And she's like, 13-year-old me is going fucking insane. Like, actually insane, because that's all I wanted as a teenager, was to have that kind of like scene haircut, the emo haircut. But my mom would not let me razor my hair. Okay, thanks, Mom. But I wasn't allowed to razor my hair, so instead I just had a really deep side part, like a side swept bang, and really long hair, and it was not giving what I needed it to give. And my hair was also like a light gold, like my natural hair color is like a light golden brown, and that does not really give emo. So I was I looked exactly the way that I wanted to when I was in middle school and high school, and that, I feel like, also kind of healed a little inner child part of me. It was so beautiful, and I just had the best time while we were there. The beginning of it was a little bit rough, but by the end I was so happy with everything, and the show was fucking amazing. I took a video of every single song, but also, like, whenever I take videos on my phone, I'm not always looking through my phone. I kind of like peek down to check and see like if it's still in frame, but I have it recording in my hand and I'm watching the show. I don't want to watch it through a screen because I could be watching it on YouTube, on TikTok, whatever. I want to experience it, but also have evidence that I've experienced it, if that makes sense. And I feel like that is the best thing to do when you're at a concert. If you get a couple parts out of frame, that's fine. That just goes to show that you were enjoying the show, right? But anyway, that was the concert, and that was fucking, oh my god. It was literally insane. During Hold On Till May, I was headbanging and crying. Never done that before, literally ever in my life. So that was healing. That was beautiful. It was a beautiful experience. And then the next day, from all of the headbanging, my neck was so stiff and sore. I was icing it like all day the day after. But it was, God, oh my God, that show was amazing. It was fucking amazing. And oh my God, I want to go back. Like, I don't get like post-concert depression, but I've been listening to it. Like, I've been listening to all of their albums, and I'm just like, oh my God, like, I got to see this live. I literally got to see this live. This is crazy. And then, okay, this was another thing. They didn't play Paraphernalia. Can you fucking believe they didn't play Paraphernalia? And I was like, okay, that's a little fucking wild and crazy. How are you not going to play Paraphernalia? Tyler was really bummed out because that's his favorite song. I was manifesting it, but it did not come true, unfortunately. I wanted them to play Gold Medal Ribbon. Okay, listen, if you don't listen to a lot of Pierce the Veil, right? It's in the album Misadventures, and which is the same album that Circles is in. Gold Medal Ribbon? If any of you motherfuckers have seen that shit live, you need to send me the footage immediately. Immediately! That hurt my throat. I don't know why. Oh. Ugh. Anyway, but for real, you need to send that footage to me, because I feel like Gold Medal Ribbon, that is probably my favorite Pierce the Veil song to date. That, like, and I feel like that's saying something because they have so many great songs, but Gold Medal Ribbon is fucking, I feel like that is the best concert song. Like, the intro to it, I feel like just comes in so beautifully, and the bass, the fucking bass in that song is so good. Sorry, I did that for too long. But anyway, it in a way kind of reminds me of Red Hot Chili Peppers just a little bit. And listen, I had a Red Hot Chili Peppers phase, okay? If I'm going to the beach and Red Hot Chili Peppers is not on my playlist, I simply did not go to the beach, okay? I love the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I love their bass lines, right? And the bass line in Gold Medal Ribbon is so, like, reminiscent of that. And I just feel like if I got to experience that song live, oh, I would have gone fucking bananas. I would have gone bonkers, okay? So again, let me reiterate, if you have footage of that performance live, if they've ever performed that live, which I would assume they did when Misadventures came out, please, for the love of fuck, send it to me. Oh my God, please send it to me. I need to see what that looks like live. And I don't want to just look it up. Okay? Because I feel like I don't want like a camera recording of it, if that makes sense. I want it on somebody's phone where it's shaky, where I feel like I'm there. I want somebody's concert footage, okay? So if you or a loved one has been to a Pierce the Veil concert and you know that they played Gold Medal Ribbon, send that shit to me immediately. You're getting forehead kisses, okay? Anyway, that was Pierce the Veil and Sleeping with Sirens. I had an amazing fucking time. Oh my God. I'm so grateful that I was able to get the money to buy the tickets. And I really want to go to more concerts. Like, honestly, I feel like just going to more concerts is what's in the stars for me in the future, now that I have a little extra spending money, you know? And Catriel and Paco Moroso are going to be playing. I think they're going to be playing, like, within the next couple months. I can't remember when it was. But they're doing a tour in the U.S. and they're going to be playing in Los Angeles. And we all know, if we watch this podcast, we all know my obsession with Catriel and Paco Moroso is fucking crazy. I don't even speak Spanish. I don't even know what they're saying half the time. I have to look it up on Google Translate, okay? I don't care. I don't have to understand the language to know that it's a fucking banger, okay? The Kai Kai Katan from, is that what that's called? From Jujutsu Kaisen, the OP from Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't know what they're saying. That shit's fire. I'm listening to that over and over and over again. That and Grinch from Demon Slayer. Simply put, you don't have to speak the language to enjoy the music. Simply, you just don't. Anyway, let me get into the other concerts that I've been to, because that's what I wanted to talk about. So, okay, I've been to a lot of concerts, and I feel like I haven't written all of them down. I feel like I'm missing a lot in here, but you are going to notice the pattern. It's mostly rock and roll, okay? So my very first concert that I ever went to, which this is kind of a flex, Paramore and Fall Out Boy. Oh my gosh. My sister took me to my very first concert. She was my concert buddy for a long time. And, oh, I didn't write Slipknot. I've seen Slipknot twice. Slipknot and Knocked Loose, which they were fucking amazing. Okay. So first concert was Paramore and Fall Out Boy. And then that was fucking amazing. I think it was when Hayley Williams had her blue hair. It was in her blue hair era. I don't remember what year that was, but I have the concert tickets. Like, I miss having physical concert tickets, because I still have my one from Paramore. I still have the one from my very first Panic at the Disco concert. I think I've seen Panic more than I've seen any other band, because I had a really big Panic at the Disco phase. I think I saw them 3 times. And then the first time was also with my sister, and we went to San Diego. Oh my God, I will never forget that, because my sister ate the street meat and then she got violently ill. And, you know, emetophobe. I couldn't get any sleep because I was covering my ears because my sister was getting sick the whole night. But anyway, went to see Paramore, Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco. I've seen My Chemical Romance. That was amazing. That got postponed because we were supposed to see them in 2020. And then I think it got postponed either until 2021 or 2022. I can't remember exactly. But I remember it being postponed because of COVID. But when we actually got to see them, that was fucking insane. It was amazing. And I remember that was also at the Kia Forum. And I cried when they played Cancer. Oh my fucking God. I sobbed when they played Cancer. Because around that time, we had lost a family friend to pancreatic cancer, stage 4 pancreatic cancer. And that song just, I immediately was thinking of him, and I was like, oh my God, like, oh, it was a lot. It was, I don't want to think about it. I'm going to start crying. But seeing Cancer live was fucking amazing. We saw Mama live. Oh my god, this is so fucking good. Like, just hearing these things that I've been wanting to hear since I was a kid, it just, it feels healing in some way. And then you listen to the songs afterwards and you're like, oh my god, like, I got to experience this live. That's fucking crazy. And then what else have I seen? I've seen Panic the most, probably, I think 3 times. And then I'm gonna see them again because me and Tyler are going to, when we were young. We're going to when we were young in October. So I'm gonna see them again, and I'm gonna see A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. I'm gonna see A Fever You Can't Sweat Out in its entirety, bitch. In its entirety. Oh my god, I'm so fucking excited. Because that's probably like one of my favorite albums by Panic. Like, Vices and Virtues is my absolute favorite, but I would say A Fever You Can't Sweat Out is like a close second. Which is saying something because A Fever You Can't Sweat Out is fucking amazing. But I feel like I just love so many more songs in Vices and Virtues. But I feel like every time that I've seen Panic, he only really did like a small little, he obviously did I Write Sins, but he did like a small little medley of a few different songs from A Fever You Can't Sweat Out, but he wouldn't really do the full songs. And so now I'm going to be able to see it in its entirety for the first time, and I am so fucking excited. I think I'm going to dress like full cabaret for When We Were Young, which for every other band it's not going to make sense, but for Panic it will. And you know what? I walk to the beat of my own fucking drum. So if I want to walk around, if I want to watch Knocked Loose and Kublai Khan wearing full cabaret, I'm going to fucking do it. You think I give a fuck? No, I don't, okay? Because I want to be in full cabaret when I'm hearing A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. So that is what I will be doing. And then, like I said, I've seen Knocked Loose before because they opened for Slipknot. This was a year or 2 ago. Tyler and I went. I've seen Slipknot twice, both times fucking amazing. The first time I went with my cousin, that was in San Diego. And when I tell you we were like the only 2 women in the pit, it was a little awkward. There were men staring at us the entire time. They were like, oh my god, there's girls here. Which is crazy because there were so many fucking hot women behind us in all of the other seats. But in the pit, it felt like it was just men. And we were the only 2 women there. It was weird as fuck. And then, you know, at one point, the mosh pit got so big that we got pushed up against the wall. And there was literally like 1 layer of people ahead of us. And they were the ones like pushing people on the outside of the mosh pit. And I was like, we need to move, because we are going to get harmed. Like, this mosh pit is fucking crazy. And that's not even the craziest mosh pit that I've seen, okay? Because let me tell you, I went to Ozfest back in 2016 or 2017, and the mosh pit was fucking insane when Megadeth started playing, okay? I got to see Megadeth live. Oh my god, Megadeth live, fucking insane. Dave Mustaine could still get it. I don't care. Oh my god, Dave Mustaine. Oh, Dave Mustaine in the 80s. Oh my god, that man was so fine. But he still sounded the same. Sounded fucking amazing. And when Symphony of Destruction started playing, we were at the Glen Helen Amphitheater. And if you look up the Glen Helen Amphitheater, it's just like this huge like field, right? An open field. And we were so far from the stage, like incredibly far. I've only been to 2 shows at the Glen Helen Amphitheater. I'm never going back there, okay? It is a bitch and a half to get out of there. Like, it takes you, when we got out of Ozfest, I think it took us 3 hours to get out of the parking lot. And then when I saw Post Malone there, which also was a great show, that was right before he started doing his country shit. And I'm so glad that I saw him right before he started doing that, because I'm sorry, can't get behind it. I love Post Malone. I used to love Post Malone, and then as soon as he started doing this country bullshit, I was like, I'm out. I can't. No, this is weird. But I saw him before he started doing country, and to get out of there, it took us like an hour and a half. So the Glen Helen is fucking crazy. If you ever have a show there, I would just recommend not going. It's a bitch and a half to get in, to get out. It's crazy, the amount of walking that you have to do. You get so much dirt up your nose. I got a nosebleed at one point because it was just so dry out there. But we got to see Megadeth there. We got to see Disturbed. And I used to love Disturbed until I found out that they were fucking Zionists. The lead singer of Disturbed, did you know this? He was one of the people that wrote a signature on the missiles that went over to Palestine. Yeah, so go ahead and take Disturbed out of your fucking playlist, because what the fuck is that? That's disgusting. I'm disturbed. But anyway, so saw Disturbed there, saw Rise Against? No. It wasn't Rise. Oh, Rival Sons. That is not the same thing, Ava. I used to really, I had like a Rise Against phase when I was in like late elementary school, early middle school. And then after seeing, I already, Rival Sons? Rival Sons. After seeing Rival Sons, I started getting into their music a little bit more, but I haven't listened to them in a long time. But got to see all of these crazy cool bands, but the mosh pit for Megadeth, I'm so sorry, I feel like I'm all over the place right now. The mosh pit for Megadeth was the craziest mosh pit I've ever seen in my life. Again, Glen Helen Amphitheater, huge fucking field, right? It's dry, and people broke out into a mosh pit. There were probably 3 mosh pits that broke out that night. There was one up by the stage, and then so there's like the stage, there's like the row of seats, and then there's like this little, I don't know, there's a wall, and then there's grass, right? And we were in that grass area. And another mosh pit breaks out right there. And the mosh pit that broke out right next, but when we could reach our hand in and touch that mosh pit. And me and my sister were like, Dad, can we go in the mosh pit? He was like, no, you guys are not going in that fucking mosh pit. And it's probably a good thing, because our friend Nico went in there, and he got punched in the nose. So, yeah, it was bad. But that mosh pit, people started throwing shit in the middle of the pit and set that shit on fire. They set that shit on fire. They were throwing their t-shirts in there. They were throwing plastic bottles. They were throwing trash, everything. And they were moshing around a fire. It was fucking insane. So now anytime I see a mosh pit anywhere, I'm like, that's nothing. Anytime I see any mosh pit anywhere, I'm like, pussies. Like, I'm gonna go in there. I would never go in there. I'm too much of a pussy to go into a mosh pit. I get too scared. If there's a girl pit, if there is ever anywhere just a girl pit, I'm going in there 1,000%. But I'm not trying to be touched by a man and be hit by a man. Not happening. But yeah. So that mosh pit was fucking crazy. And then what else? What have I talked about already? So I got this. Oh, I went to the Hella Mega Tour. Back in, I think that was 2021, I want to say. That was at the Dodger Stadium, and the Hella Mega Tour was Weezer, Fall Out Boy, and Green Day. Oh my god. Billy Joe Armstrong. That man can control a crowd, if you know what I'm saying. He can control a crowd, and he can control other things too, if you know what I'm saying. But oh my god. That guy liner is still working for him. I don't even know. He's like in his 50s now, but oh my god, that man is so fine. And then we saw Weezer, gained back our virginity, of course. And like, it was just so cool, like, to see like these bands that I've been listening to since I was a kid. And I had seen Fall Out Boy before when I saw Paramore at my first concert, but my sister and I left that concert early because our parents came to pick us up early. So we didn't get to see Fall Out Boy's full set. I think we only got to see like 2 songs. And so I was kind of bummed out about that. But then I got to see them again at the Hella Mega Tour, and that was fucking crazy. It was so good. So I talked about Hella Mega, talked about Ozfest. Oh, Ozzy just did his farewell tour. Ozzy is not supposed to die. We were supposed to have Ozzy forever, okay? That man's supposed to be immortal. What is happening right now? What do you mean farewell? No, absolutely not. I'm not having it. Get your ass back on that stage. I'm just kidding. No, I love Ozzy so much. And honestly, he's been going crazy for a very long time. He is the fucking, what is it, the grandfather or the godfather of heavy metal? I forget what people refer to him as. But he basically started heavy metal. Black Sabbath did. And I don't know. It's so weird to like see all of these artists that you love so much getting older. And I had this feeling too at the Pierce the Veil concert, seeing Vic and seeing his face just kind of aging a little bit. I was like, it didn't make me sad, but it was this feeling of like time had passed, and you know that time has passed. It's kind of like when you notice that your parents start to get more gray in their hair, or like your grandparents or your great aunts and great uncles, like hands start to get a little more wrinkly, and it's just like you see the clock turning, and it's just weird. It's so weird to see. And that's kind of how I felt when I was seeing all these videos of Ozzy, and I'm so grateful that I got to see him live before his farewell tour. And man, it was insane. I actually found out after the show that singing and talking take place in two different parts of the brain, because when Ozzy speaks, you can't really understand what he's saying, right? You know, like, he's done so many drugs, alcohol, things like that does a lot of damage to your brain, and he can't really speak. But when he sings, his voice is fucking incredible. And it was so beautiful to be able to, like, witness that live, and to see him perform all of these songs that I've been listening to since I was just a wee little baby. And I'm so grateful that I got to see him, you know, before he did his farewell. That was a couple years ago at this point. Almost 10. That was almost 10 years ago. Holy shit, that's crazy. But anyway, got to see that. That was amazing. I got to see Black Veil Brides. a couple years ago. That was literally everything that I needed and more. I would love to see him again, I saw Black Veil Brides, and I've also seen Andy Black just, like, individually. But oh my god, one day I'm gonna get VIP passes, and I'm going to be able to go to a meet and greet again. And when I go to this meet and greet and Andy Biersack falls in love with me, I can't control that, guys. I can't control it, okay? And Tyler already knows. This was established at the very beginning of our relationship, okay? If Andy Biersack sees me from the crowd at a show and falls in love with me, I have to give you the ring back. I'm sorry. He knows. He knows his place. He knows where he stands. All jokes aside, I love my fiance. I love my fiance, and I would never actually realistically leave him for Andy Biersack. But if the opportunity presented itself, I would question some things. I have been obsessed with Andy Biersack. I've had an unhealthy obsession with him since I was a child. And he just, I got to meet him one time for a meet and greet after his first solo album came out. And my sister took me to, I love my sister so much. She took me to go see him for that meet and greet. It was at a Hot Topic in LA. And I shook his hand, and he signed an autograph on a poster. I framed that poster. It still has the hand particles on it. His DNA is on that thing. I asked Tyler if we could hang it over our bed. He said no. But yeah, I got to see Black Veil Brides. I got to see Andy, and that was just fucking amazing. Both times was just absolutely insane. I fucking love Black Veil Brides so much. So I was so glad that I got to see them. Going into something a little bit different. Does anybody know Pretty Much? Is anybody fucking with Pretty Much? I loved Pretty Much when they first came out, which was 2017, 2018. And me and my ex-best friend were, like, obsessed with this boy band at the time, right? And I tried listening to their stuff, like, post 2019. Not really a fan. I think the last song that I liked of theirs was probably Summer on You. But Would You Mind had me in a chokehold. Had me in an absolute chokehold. So I saw Pretty Much individually. But the very first time I saw Pretty Much, I believe, was actually their very first live performance, which was Teen Fest. Now, here's the thing. Teen Fest. Does anybody know? When I say Teen Fest, who's triggered by that? Who is triggered by the words Teen Fest and what the Paul brothers fucking inflicted on us? So, a couple years ago, I want to say it was 2017 or 2018, I can't remember, but it was in the summertime. I was with my ex-best friend and with another friend of ours, and we went to Teen Fest because the Teen Choice Awards were going on, and that was hosted by Logan Paul, and they decided to do this thing called Teen Fest, where it was basically like a show where there was a bunch of, it was a festival, there were a bunch of other performers coming on, and that was hosted by Jake Paul, and I went to the one hosted by Jake Paul, which is embarrassing. But, yeah, Team 10 performed. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be there for that. But my ex-best friend convinced me because she said Sleeping with Sirens was going to be there. They got one emo band to play. And when I tell you, bitch, oh my God, it was probably me and two other people in that crowd that knew what was going on. It was not the right crowd to be hearing Sleeping with Sirens for the very first time. And it was so funny because Kellen, like, I don't know, like, he still put on the show, like, he didn't look discouraged, but it was just so weird that, like, nobody knew who they were. Like, nobody fucking knew who they were, and I was going fucking bananas. I was going so crazy. I was so happy and hyped to see them. And oh my God, I was having the best time hearing their songs playing. And then at one point he was like, "This one's for the older fans." And then he goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa." And I was like, "Whoa." I was freaking the fuck out. It was so crazy. And then this girl that was standing in front of me kept on giving me dirty looks the whole time. I was like, "I'm sorry. Let me in the front then. Let me ahead of you if you don't want me screaming behind you. Because you're not even going to give these performers a pity clap." Even the people that I didn't like that were going on, I was still like, yay. Can't even give them a pity clap. Crazy. But anyway, I went to go see Sleeping with Sirens there. And, God, that was just not the right crowd. So seeing them again more recently, this was exactly the crowd that I needed it to be. Like, it was the right energy. Everybody was going just as bonkers as I was. It was fucking amazing. But then I got to see Pretty Much performing, and I think that was their very first performance. And Austin, before we even got like into the venue, was like climbing up on the there was like a fence, and it was like it had like one of those sheets that you couldn't see behind it, but he climbed to the top of the fence, and he was saying hello to people. So I said hello to Austin, before they got bigger, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I know a famous person. That's crazy. But we basically just said like hi to him, and I think Zion was there too. I had a very unhealthy obsession with Zion. He was probably my favorite. Zion and Brandon were probably my favorite. But yeah, they were. Oh my God, Would You Mind, Teacher, and Open Arms. Oh my God, the acapella that they did for Open Arms was fucking crazy. So good. I need to get back into Pretty Much. I really loved Pretty Much for a long time, but they broke up a couple years ago. When Nick left, I think that was around the time that I kind of like officially stopped listening, because I'm sorry, Nick was the belter. He had the really good vocals. Like, he was doing all of like the crazy runs and like the whole, like holding out the notes and stuff. Loved Nick. He was incredible. But yeah, I really I fucked with them for a long time. But yeah, that was Teen Fest. And then I told you about Post Malone. I'm trying to think of any other concert that I've been to. I definitely feel like I'm missing a lot, because I've seen a lot of cover bands. I've seen a Journey cover band that used to come to like this park in Garden Grove every summer, and that was a lot of fun. Like, the guy sounded just like Steve Perry. It was crazy. But is that his name, Steve Perry, for Journey? I think that's it. But I'm trying to think of any others. We saw Led Zeppelin a few times. I think that might be it. If I could see anybody in concert as of right now, Megan Thee Stallion, 100%. I would love to see Megan Thee Stallion live. That is probably like my number one right now. Beyonce, of course. Doja Cat. My friends went to see Doja Cat a couple years ago. They said that she put on a really great show. And like, from all the concert footage that I've seen, she does put on an amazing show, and I would love to see her live one day. I'm trying to think of who else. If they don't tour anymore, but if I was able to see Led Zeppelin, man, I've watched The Song Remains the Same so many times. If I was able to be at Madison Square Garden in 1973, motherfucker, that would have been incredible. Their performance of Stairway to Heaven for that tour, for The Song Remains the Same tour in 73, was fucking insane. I would highly recommend listening to it. If you like Led Zeppelin but you've never really listened to their stuff that's live, listen to the live version, The Song Remains the Same version of Stairway to Heaven, and tell me that does not change your life, okay? Like, after he says, and the forest will echo with laughter, he goes, does anybody remember laughter? And I say that every single time I listen to Stairway to Heaven, whether or not it's that version or what. But it's fucking incredible. And if you don't listen to Led Zeppelin, what are you doing with your life? You need to fucking listen to Led Zeppelin. But yeah, I wish I could have seen Led Zeppelin. I wish I could have seen, there's so many bands I wish I could have seen. I would like to see the Eagles, Fleetwood Mac. That would be fucking, hearing Silver Springs live would be fucking, oh my God, that'd be so crazy. I really want to see Catriel and Paco Moroso so badly. I can't really think of anybody else. Maybe Sabrina Carpenter. I feel like I've been getting into her stuff a little bit more. I like her songs. Not real personally. Listen, I'm not gonna get into it. I'm not really a fan of the new album cover, but I'm not gonna do a deep dive on that. I feel like there's too many people already talking about it. I don't think I'm adding anything new or fresh to the conversation. I'm just not really a fan of it personally. But I do really like her music. I think that would be really cool to see live. But other than that, I feel like I've seen most of the people that I want to see, which is really, really incredible. And I'm so, so grateful that I've been able to go to so many concerts. And I want to go to more. I definitely want to go to more and just see more live shows and experience that. Because experiencing live music is so beautiful. And you get goosebumps all over your body, and just like the visuals that people add to it is just so beautiful. So I would love, love, love to see more concerts, probably in these next upcoming years. But anyway, let's get into the Airbuds recap. I think I owe you guys 3. I want to say 3. Maybe it's 2, but I did 3 just to be on the safe side because I wasn't 100% sure how many I missed. So this was week 4. I think it's week 4 and week 5 of June, and then week 1 of July that I have in here. So week 4 of June, the tracks of the week were Taste by Sabrina Carpenter, Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter, It Girl by Aaliyah's Interlude, Feather by Sabrina Carpenter, Busy Woman by Sabrina Carpenter. And then the album of the week was Short and Sweet by Sabrina Carpenter. Artists of the week were Sabrina Carpenter. I feel like the more that I say her name, the more that it sounds fake. Megan Thee Stallion and Miracle Tones, because I was listening to Frequencies. And then for week 5 of June, It Girl by Aaliyah's Interlude, They Wanna Fuck by Kim Petras. I fucking love that song, okay? That song's amazing. I need to get into Kim Petras. But the other songs that I've heard by her, I wasn't really a huge fan of, but maybe I just kind of need to get a little more used to it, because this is not my usual taste in music. But They Wanna Fuck by Kim Petras, Bedchem by Sabrina Carpenter, Busy Woman by Sabrina Carpenter, and Bulls in the Bronx by Pierce the Veil, because I started to listen to them a little bit more when I knew I was going to see them in concert. Album of the week was Short and Sweet again by Sabrina Carpenter. Artists of the week were Pierce the Veil, Sabrina Carpenter, and Megan Thee Stallion. Tracks of the week for July. So starting first week of July, Paraphernalia, Pierce the Veil. Floral and Fading by Pierce the Veil, which they also didn't play in concert. I was really hoping that they were going to do that, because when we looked up the set list, they were supposed to do a cover by the Pixies, Where Is My Mind, I think. And then they were going to transition that into Floral and Fading. But I feel like what we saw, the set list that we saw, was not at all accurate. I don't know what was going on with that, but it was not accurate whatsoever. Number 3 is A Trophy Father's Trophy Son, obviously, Sleeping with Sirens. 100 Sleepless Nights by Pierce the Veil. Listen, that might be my favorite song. No, Props and Mayhem is probably my favorite song in Collide with the Sky. I don't know. I feel like Collide with the Sky is probably their best work. 100%. Like, it's just banger after banger after banger. But 100 Sleepless Nights is so fucking good. And then Bulletproof Love. Oh, so good. By Pierce the Veil. Album of the week was Collide with the Sky by Pierce the Veil. And then Artist of the week was Pierce the Veil, Sleeping with Sirens, and The Cure. Because listen, it is not summertime unless The Cure is playing, okay? Start playing The Cure whenever you do your summer festivities and tell me that shit does not feel like summer, okay? Maybe not Lullaby, because that one's a little dark. But Boys Don't Cry, just like the intro to that is so summertime. The last post that I made on my Instagram was just the intro of Boys Don't Cry, because that intro is just so, like, it just gives sunshine, rainbows, cold watermelon on a hot day, a nice drink of water, some lemonade. I don't even like lemonade, but it gives lemonade. It's so summery. And I would highly recommend listening to The Cure for summertime. And honestly, low-key, Depeche Mode. It kind of fucks. But anyway, that is all I have for you today. And I really hope that everybody is doing well. And I don't think I have anything else for you. I think that might be everything. Okay. So, I'm beautiful. You're beautiful. We are all beautiful. I love you so much, and have a great day. Bye.